our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Zahra Syed. Our top story tonight. A left-wing coalition has emerged victorious in France, surpassing a significant challenge from the country's far right after Sunday's high-stakes legislative elections. The new Popular Front, which is supported by French Muslims, secured 182 seats, claiming the top spot. President Emmanuel Macron's centrist Together alliance followed closely with 163 seats. The far-right alliance, known for its Islamophobic and anti-immigration stance, took third place with 143 seats. French Muslims, who make up 10% of the population, according to France's National Statistics Bureau, INSEE, played a decisive role in the left's electoral success. The left-wing alliance includes prominent figures such as Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who is known for his strong Free Palestine stance. His criticism of Israel's war on Gaza has been hailed by human rights groups. The New York Times reports Mélenchon denounces Israel's military operation in Gaza as genocide. According to the Times of Israel, prominent French Jews lament the success of a political bloc they blame to be anti-Semitic. According to official results released Monday, all three main blocs fell far short of the 289 seats needed to control the 577-seat National Assembly. Israel has killed at least 40 Palestinians and injured 75 others within the past 24 hours, according to Gaza's Ministry of Health. The Israeli army announced a ground operation targeting Gaza City, including sites like the headquarters of the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, or the UNRWA. The Gaza Civil Emergency Service has reported numerous casualties in eastern Gaza, yet rescue efforts are hindered by ongoing offensives in multiple suburbs. Palestinian officials confirmed 3 deaths in a southwest Gaza City incursion on Monday. Reports from Gaza City describe a dire situation as Israeli forces expand operations. Civilians, including many who sought refuge near UNRWA headquarters, are trapped amid bombings and ground incursions, making evacuation challenging. Witnesses fleeing to Wadi Gaza recount horrifying scenes of bodies in the streets inaccessible to paramedics. Israeli military updates claim more than 30 Palestinian fighters killed in Rafah, along with the destruction of tunnels and confiscation of weapons. Israel has killed at least 38,193 Palestinians and wounded 87,903 in its war on Gaza since October 7th last year. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice, whose latest ruling ordered it to immediately halt its military operations in the southern city of Rafah. Ramy Abu Mustafa, a mentally ill Palestinian from Khan Yunis, Gaza, who had been severely injured and tortured in Israeli detention, has died. Abu Mustafa, who was shot 7 times and lost his sight, also had several organs removed while in captivity. He had been detained during an Israeli military operation, then released about 20 days ago at the Garam Abu Salim crossing. He suffered extensive injuries, including a bullet to his brain, 5 bullets in his abdomen, and 1 bullet in his right leg. After being released, his health continued to deteriorate due to the severe torture and the removal of his organs, eventually leading to his death. His brother, Ahmad Abu Mustafa, highlighted the dire condition in which his brother was released. He said Ramy lost his sight completely, had multiple organ failures, and had been severely mistreated and tortured beyond imagination. Ahmad emphasized the impact of the collapsing health system in Gaza due to the Israeli attacks and the blockade. Dr. Hassan Es-Saidi from the Gaza European Hospital confirmed Ramy's extensive injuries, noting numerous bullet wounds and stitches. On July 2nd, following Israel's warning to evacuate the area, the staff of Gaza European Hospital began transferring patients and equipment. Patients from one of Gaza's few operational health centers were moved to Nasser Hospital in the city center. Co-chair of the Biden-Harris campaign, Cedric Richmond, has revealed that Vice President Kamala Harris is intensifying her involvement in re-election efforts. Speaking on MSNBC, the former congressman highlighted Harris's growing role as the campaign gears up for November's presidential elections. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden remains resolute despite increasing calls from senior House Democrats to reconsider his candidacy. Sources indicate that at least 4 prominent House Democrats, including Jerry Nadler and Mark Takano, are advocating for Biden to step aside after his recent debate performance. Observers say this internal dissent underscores challenges within the Democratic Party as Biden continues to campaign amid calls for change at the top of the ticket. Senator Marco Rubio is downplaying concerns over Project 2025's influence on a potential second term for Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Rubio dismissed it as the work of a think tank. Trump, via Truth Social, claimed ignorance of the project. Project 2025, detailed in a 922-page handbook, proposes expansive executive powers and ideological federal appointments. Rubio, a potential vice president pick for Trump, defended the Heritage Foundation's plan, criticized by Democrats for potentially undermining democracy. He contrasted Trump's platform of what he called common sense with what he labeled as the far left and a shadow government. Security experts are sounding the alarm after the release of what's being called the largest password compilation ever seen. A staggering 9.9 billion passwords collected from various historic and recent data breaches have surfaced on a dark web forum. Named rocku2024.txt, the file was discovered by Cyber News, highlighting a significant cybersecurity threat. This compilation not only aggregates passwords dating back more than 2 decades, but also poses a serious risk of attacks, allowing hackers to access user accounts and sensitive information. Experts advise immediate password changes for affected users worldwide. They stress the importance of using strong, unique passwords and enabling two-factor authentication wherever possible. The U.S. is gripped by record heat amid a climate crisis. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. More than 120 million Americans faced heat advisories this weekend amid scorching temperatures across the United States. Record-breaking highs in states like Arizona, where temperatures soared to 118 degrees, underscored the heat wave's severity. A 10-year-old boy succumbed to a heat-related emergency during a hike. The National Weather Service warns of extremely dangerous conditions in the west and persistent humidity in the east. Scientists attribute these extreme conditions to the climate crisis driven by fossil fuels, which exacerbates wildfires across California. Experts argue for accountability, suggesting heat waves be named after fossil fuel companies, highlighting their role in the crisis. As temperatures rise, so does the urgency to address climate change and its deadly consequences. 2 teenage sisters drowned at Coney Island Beach after being swept into the ocean. 17-year-old Zainab Muhammad and 18-year-old Aisha Muhammad were pulled from the water by first responders late Friday evening. Witnesses reported chaotic scenes as a sudden rainstorm prompted beachgoers to seek shelter, while the sisters returned to the water despite warnings. Efforts by a bystander to rescue them proved futile due to rough waters. Despite swift medical attention at Coney Island Hospital, both sisters were pronounced dead. The local Muslim community is mourning the loss and highlights the dangers of unpredictable weather conditions as well as the importance of water safety awareness. President of the Islamic Circle of North America, Dr. Mosen Ansari, received the prestigious presidential award at the annual convention of the Association of Physicians of Pakistani Descent of North America. The annual convention was held in Maryland over the weekend. The award acknowledges Ansari's philanthropic contributions and leadership. A respected pediatrician and neonatal specialist, Ansari continues to make significant impact within the Pakistani American community and beyond through his service. A new Kiswa, or covering, was ceremoniously installed at the Kaaba in Mecca to mark the Islamic New Year. The replacement involved a team of 159 craftsmen from the King Abdulaziz complex for the Kiswa of the Kaaba. The process included carefully removing the old Kiswa, adorned with gold embroidery, and replacing it with a new black cloth cover. The new Kiswa comprises 53 intricately embroidered pieces, including sections for the belt area, corners, lanterns, and the door curtain. This annual ritual, requiring up to 200 skilled technicians, uses over 200 pounds of gold, more than 260 pounds of silver, and approximately 2,200 pounds of silk. The Kiswa stands at about 45 feet tall and is decorated with woven inscriptions in black threads. Leaders of the military regimes in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have announced a confederation of 3 Sahel states. They held their first joint summit in Niger's capital, Niamey. Leader of the Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, said the alliance of Sahel states' confederation guarantees true peace and sustainable development. The summit appears to have signaled their departure from the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS. The 3 leaders said they would leave the bloc earlier this year despite frequent efforts at reconciliation. Ties between the 3 nations deteriorated with ECOWAS after General Abdourahmane Tiani took power from elected President Mohamed Bazoum in a coup in Niger last July. The bloc imposed sanctions on Niger and threatened intervention, which irritated the trio. The countries, with a combined population of 72 million, are affected by instability caused by militant groups. The trio is expected to cooperate on security issues and form closer economic ties. India's eastern state bordering Bangladesh is reeling under devastating floods. The floods so far have killed more than 70 people and affected more than 2.4 million people across 30 districts. Major rivers in the state are flowing above danger levels, exacerbating the crisis. The Assam State Disaster Management Authority has declared the flood situation as serious. The most vulnerable are farmers, predominantly Muslims, already grappling with citizenship issues under Indian laws. Recent reports from the Assam government confirm casualties in districts like Charaidio, Golpara, and others. Nearly 2.4 million people have been affected, with more than 160,000 acres of cropland submerged. Currently, 577 relief camps are operational across Assam, sheltering approximately 53,000 displaced people. The Brahmaputra River, along with numerous other water bodies, continues to pose a threat, flowing above danger marks in several areas. The floods also severely affected wildlife, with Kaziranga National Park reporting the deaths of 114 wild animals and rescuing 95 others. The scenes from affected areas depict widespread devastation, with homes partially submerged and communities enduring hardship. Ryan Garcia has been expelled by the World Boxing Council, or the WBC, following his use of racial slurs and Islamophobic language on social media. The American boxer, previously banned for a year due to anti-doping violations, made the remarks on X. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman expelled Garcia from any activity with our organization. We reject any form of discrimination. The 25-year-old boxer apologized for causing offense, but has not responded to his expulsion. Previously, the WBC refrained from additional sanctions, citing concerns about his mental health after a doping ban by the New York State Athletic Commission. Garcia's family issued a statement disavowing his remarks, emphasizing they do not reflect his true character or his upbringing. That's all from our Toronto studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Your support is needed more than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content to Muslims in North America and around the world. Donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Assalamu alaikum and good night.